Alright, welcome to Beers and Fears. We got Roman of the Campground on screen there. What's up, my man?
Not much. How's it going for you guys over there?
It's good.
Pretty good,
It's good.
pretty good.
You know, 70-degree weather. Come on.
I know.
You know? So,
Better than my 20.
yeah. I don't envy you at all, my friend. Hey, real quick, before we jump into the interview, I know there's a little bit of time here for this, so please tell us about the what the Campground's actually up for when it comes to awards. We saw something about the whole Twitter, so let us know what's up with that.
Yeah, the way that is everyone's voting to get the Campground a nomination, and then Horror Society does the voting from there.
Gotcha.
So the Campground is actually up for Best Feature, Best Director, Scream Queen, Scream King, and Best Death Scene. You can cast your votes by using hashtag HSA 2014 on Twitter. And then the Scream Queen is Anna Love, Scream King, Casey Weber, Best Death Scene, Lydia Bender, Best Feature, Campground, and Director, myself, Roman Jossart.
That's awesome.
And you just vote on Twitter once a day, every day, until the 25th.
25th. Great deal. So you guys heard it. Get your votes in. We need to make that happen because, I mean, you saw the review. We love
awesome.
this film. Being your first one, let's start for that. That was one of the questions. How did you come up with this concept? We know you said you wrote it in high school. So where did this come from? How did you brain this little baby here, my friend?
See, it's funny because everyone's going to say a lot of it was influenced from Friday the 13th or Jason Came Crystal Lake, but in reality, personally, I'm not a fan of Jason, which is ironic, I guess, to the film itself.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of Victor Crowley from the Hatchet series.
Very nice.
So I drew a lot of inspiration from the Victor Crowley, the whole swamp thing. It just ended up crafting into a campground, but the idea behind it was very hatchety, but I wanted to make it my own at the same time. I guess my subconscious, though, I had a secret love for Jason, and I kept following in those footsteps, but I tried, after I realized it was going towards Jason, I tried really hard to get away from that, which is why I changed the script to have the mom kill him, rather than the mom get killed and him see it or something like that. So I did what I could to separate the two characters just for that reasoning. I didn't want to be a copycat film, even though I know slashers today, they're all copycats of Halloween or Nightmare, Freddy, all that stuff. So
Right.
I wanted to try to make it original as much as I could.
So the original script you were saying, so it was actually the mother killing type thing? Is that how you had it going on? Or?
At that time, I didn't write what exactly happened with the mother yet, but after I was reading it from stepping back and reading it, I realized how similar things were. So I was like, oh man, what can I do? I'll just have the mom kill him. That'll separate it a little bit. So that's how I came up with the idea to kill off Charlie from the mother, to try to hope that it wasn't Pamela and Jason, where it's Haley and Charlie.
Right. Very cool. One thing that we were talking about that we liked, and maybe David could elaborate more. Man, how did you cast? What was his name?
Casey?
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey.
That boy's the man.
Yeah. He was awesome.
Casey, I remember the first time on set, the first time he filmed, first night shooting. The first thing he ever filmed was actually me and him meeting in the grocery store. That was his first day ever on set. So there wasn't a whole lot of acting for him to do. But the second thing he ever filmed was in Michael's house, which is towards the end of the film. And that whole scene, that was his first time ever filming, ever acting in a movie. And I was blown away. But
Wow.
Aaron, who plays Sally, the girl that answers the cell phone in the bathroom, she was friends with Casey. Casey replaced a role. We had an actor quit. We had 3 actors quit mid-production that we had to recast, and one of those roles was Kevin, and Kevin's obviously a main character. So, in And my thing is, I didn't want to change the script. I wanted to have Kevin had to be black. That was my thing. I was like, he's got to be black and he's got to be athletic. And like, where I'm from, black athletic is not a popular thing around here in Indiana. So I was very scared because once I got at Kevin, I was like, all right, this is it. I got my guy. And then he was gone. So Aaron knew Casey and got me in contact with him. And we talked one time on the phone, and then he was on set the next day. And it went great from there. But it was an impulse. You're casted.
One of the things that I had going on the whole, like you were saying, it's not Friday the 13th-ish, and it wasn't kind of your influence. But still, one of my favorite lines, without giving too much away, was in the trailer. And he was asking her, hey, why don't you go act like his mom and say something? And she was like, well, what happens? Oh, I'll just tell you later. Brilliant writing, man. Like that
was a great line.
I was literally when I was watching it, I was drinking a beer and I it came out my nose a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it burnt, but it was worth it. It was amazing. Like, was that ad-libbed, like, or was that actually written?
No, I wrote that on purpose because obviously for the end of the movie, what Kevin says at the end that we won't reveal, but I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
I wanted a piece of dialogue that I could reintroduce at the end of the movie that would bring it full circle. So for slasher fans, or at least Friday the 13th fans, when Kevin says it worked in Friday the 13th, and she's like, well, how did that end? He's like, I'll tell you later. I mean, obviously every slasher fan knows he comes back.
Yeah.
So, and what Kevin says at the end, I wanted something that would really glue the whole film together, and I thought that line would be perfect.
That's awesome. I will edit for a second.
That was one of the lines in the movie that I wrote.
There's a lot of funny lines in this movie, actually. I thought the dialogue itself, man, everybody seemed to really kind of have a good banter on screen. Yeah. So, which was awesome. How much did the, look at that. Look at that. Man, part 2.
Watch out.
Part 2. That's fantastic. Where did you guys get that mask? Was it something you guys made, or?
No, it's not something we made. I had the mask. I got the mask before I started writing the script back in high school. It was a mask that I think my mom bought at a yard sale or something years ago. But anyways, I used that as my inspiration, but somewhere between high school and when we made the movie, I lost the mask. So I literally spent 3 to 4 months online looking for this mask by typing in nothing but red plastic mask. Like, I didn't know how to find it. And then one day I found it on Amazon somehow, and I bought like 3 of them. But it was a long journey trying to get that mask back, because I didn't use it for like 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden I was like, I need the mask. Where's that? And it's gone.
And we were talking a little bit, like, that mask, it would have looked really weird with something different, honestly.
I think so too. That mask, it's the grin. It's that sinister grin it's got on there.
Yeah.
I love that mask. I don't know why. I remember seeing it and I was like, that's my Charlie Larson.
Yeah.
That's my killer.
That's awesome. Speaking of Charlie in the background here, how much of that did you guys do? Yeah, I got some for you too, man. How much of when it came to that, like, sometimes they cast a couple people for that position. Were you that person through the whole thing and able to play your other part? Yeah.
So I came into some trouble at the house, and I was originally the player, the killer, and then I had moved out, so that canceled that whole scenario. About a month before filming, I moved back in. So whoever they casted, I took their place again.
Oh, nice. Well,
he was Charlie, and then he wasn't Charlie, and I casted somebody else, and then literally 3 weeks before filming, he was like, I can do it again if you want me to. And I was like,
All right.
To say no, they didn't want me back in it because they didn't know if I was going to be moving back out again. So he was like, I really don't want you to do it, man. And I was just like, I mean, I'm here. If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Right.
But I think they talked for about a week or so, and they were like, yeah, let him do it. So
That's cool.
Shane's Charlie.
All right, so like obviously, as being in like indie horror, you don't have like a humongous budget to work with. So like we noticed like at the very beginning of the movie how you kind of had the green screen thing behind the car, and then another scene like literally seconds later it was back to completely normal. So I was just wondering what was that like trying to put this all together on a obviously limited budget?
It was not easy. I don't know how else to say it. Obviously, with a bigger budget, you can have better equipment, which will make life easier. Thankfully now, after the movie, we've got some really nice equipment for our next projects in the future. But for Campground, we filmed the whole thing on the Canon T3i, which is a really good entry-level camera. The reason we did green screening is at the time we didn't have... I really wanted the camera to be outside the car and see the two passengers, where if the camera was inside the car, we would have just been on close-ups back and forth, and that would have been... I would have hated that. So we did the option of green screening for that reason, because I wanted the camera outside. We didn't have a rig to actually hook up to a car and drive. Thankfully now we do. But the green screening, it wasn't too difficult to work with. It wasn't a favorable thing to work with, just because we don't have the right tools for it yet. That and lighting. Lighting is the most underrated thing when it comes to production. Like, I never gave two thoughts about lighting. I was like, oh, we'll buy these lights. They gotta be good. I never thought of, like, screen testing with the camera, what the lights actually look like at night. And it took us, I mean, when we first started, we'd probably spend an hour to an hour and a half just lighting the scene. Then we could start filming, and it was, by the end of it, you know, we knew what we needed to do, and we'd set everything up in a half hour. But, lighting is a huge thing that I feel like a lot of people we'll just buy these lights and plug them in and it'll work. It's like, no, there's so many technical things between your camera, your lens, your f-stops, your apertures, and the type of lightings. I've never heard the term tungsten and daylight before making the movie. And now, like, I can go on for days and days, like, daylight balance, 5500K. But in the beginning, yeah, it was the most thing that I just didn't think twice about. Now it's like, lighting is like one of my first things on the set. And I'm like, let's get this over with.
Yeah, makes sense. Tell me a little bit about the score. That was probably, honestly, one of my favorite parts of your entire film. That score really moved that film along, and I think a lot of people miss that opportunity, especially when it comes to indie. Who did you get? I know you had a band as well. Tell us a little bit about all that in general. So,
I'll start with Bobby, who did the score.
Okay.
Bobby Cole is an awesome composer. He's from the UK. He found me through Facebook of some memes. He saw me posting it. No, I remember now. He did the last 10 minutes for Slasher Studios' Don't Go to the Reunion.
Gotcha.
And he saw the guys over there sharing stuff about my film, so he contacted me saying, hey, you know, I worked on Don't Go to the Reunion. I'm really big in indie horror. And he's done other stuff. He's done music for American Pictures, MTV. He's done a bunch of big U.S. channels. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we came to an agreement. And, I remember sending him the first draft to have him score, and he sent it back to me, and I was just blown away because of the schedule we were on. We had, I think, 4 or 5 weeks to edit the entire film before theater day.
Wow.
So I was like, I have to have this whole thing edited, color corrected, and score mixed in 5 weeks. The film was done the day before the premiere. I remember that. It was crazy. But, yeah, Bobby, I sent him the first draft, and he sent it back, and I was just blown away by it. He's a great, great composer, and we've got him signed on for the next 3 projects at Studio 605 is doing.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
As for the Veins, who were the song in the beginning, they're a rock band from here in Cincinnati. And I met up with them because my big goal was, along with trying to get myself out there, I used to be in the whole music scene around here, so I really wanted to help a local band out if I could. So that's when I approached, I found them somehow. I really can't remember how I got in contact with Adam, who's the lead singer. But we got in contact, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm making this local film. I'd love to have some local music. And they wrote that song, American Darling, which is in the beginning, and it's a great song. I feel like it really fit the opening of the movie.
So tell us what's next for... Well, actually, before we go into it, give us a little bit of 605. Give us a little background on that. What's going on with you guys on that?
Studio 605 was formed after we made Campground with myself, Brandon Pruitt, and Chris Smith. The 3 of us met making Campground, so none of us knew each other beforehand. And we all clicked. I mean, we're on the same page almost for everything. Where one person's weak, the other person's strong. It's very, very good. The 3 of us work very well together, so we're like, look, this is what we love to do. Everyone, the 3 of us, we've got the passion. Let's do it. And so we opened up Studio 605, which 605 is the troupe that Charlie Varson was in. He was in Troop 605. So we formed the company off of Charlie because we figured it'd only be right, since Charlie's what brought us together, we'd make the company off of that. So Studio 605 was formed because of the Campground.
That's awesome.
Nice.
What's next for Studio 605?
We have a busy, nice year. In March, we will be in Kansas City at I believe it's called the Slaughterhouse Film Festival. And we will be at Horror Hound Weekend in Cincinnati. Along with, during March, we will start filming our Friday the 13th, The Curse of Jason fan series, which will be directed by Jack Norman. We're all super excited. Again, it's funny that I'm producing a Friday the 13th
Yeah.
thing. Jason just keeps coming my way. But we'll be doing that in March. And we haven't said anything about it, but I feel like this is a good place for me, so I'm making an executive decision. Studio 605 has a new film coming up this summer that we haven't talked about anywhere yet, but it'll be called The Woods Within.
Awesome.
It'll be directed by Chris Smith, who was the director of photography for Campground. He's also one of the co-owners of the company, but that'll be a big summer movie. It'll be a slasher. It's a modern day slasher, but it's going to take the genre from a whole new perspective. So for an indie film that's really, I feel like, hard, bold to do and say, but the film, we're trying no cliches with it. A complete original new horror movie that has its ties to a couple films, but we're very excited about that movie. We'll start marketing it in beginning to mid-February when we start launching our campaign to help raise funds and awareness. But that's the next big thing we're doing. And we should be producing a short also that Brandon Pruitt will be directing called A Twisted Fate that has a Facebook page and everything. That'll be a short. So hopefully this year we'll have a Friday the 13th fan film series. It'll be a 3-part series. The Woods Within, which will be a full feature, and Twisted Fate, which is going to be around a 10-minute short, all in this year.
That's awesome, man. You guys got a packed calendar.
So do we get to see any more
Until
Casey?
2016.
Yes.
Do we get to see any more Casey, though?
Bring on the Casey.
And then 2015, we get to go back to the campground.
Yes!
So we're halfway through the script on Campground 2. Campground 2 is much different in a good way from Campground 1. My biggest thing that I've been getting from people, and I give it to myself, there wasn't enough character development in Campground 1. The reason for that is Campground 1 is Act 1 of what I want to do. The Campground will be a trilogy.
Very nice.
So, where we have Campground 1 is just your introduction. This is Charlie Barson. This is his backstory. This is who he is. Campground 2 now, we get a lot in depth with Casey's character Kevin and Anna's character Heidi. We get a lot more in depth with those two characters, and we reintroduce a character that becomes a much bigger deal. So Campground 1 was just a setup, if you will, to what will become a badass trilogy.
Fantastic.
Nice. So, I'm going to put you on the spot. As you might know, we started partnering up with Atrocity Effects. It's a local group here that is starting to do some pretty amazing effects work for us, and we just filmed actually a couple things tonight that they were doing for their own, and kind of helping them get out there. And one of the things that they want to start doing is per our reviews and interviews that we have with you guys, they want to be able to take one of the scenes that you pick and recreate that for a segment of themselves. So if you had a scene that on any budget level that you want to do and recreate for these girls, and then obviously we're gonna put this together and pump it out there, give it to you. You can use it if you want, whatever. Just have fun with it. You know what I mean? What scene out of Campground you think that you would like to see recreated by Atrocity Effects?
Man, it would have to be either. And I gotta pick one.
And remember, these girls, man, they like the blood and gore. They pump it up, so.
Yeah, if they want the blood, I would go with Deirdre Helm's character Kathleen. She was the one in the tent with my brother's character Ty. I guess I can say it. They're gonna recreate it, where she gets the screwdriver through the back of the neck and penetrate out of the front. So I would go with that one.
That's good.
Okay.
That's the one I would like to see recreated. I'd like to see it recreated just to see how they do it. Compared to how I did it, so I could probably feel like an idiot afterwards.
Man, I kind of always want to see how they do it.
Yeah, I just want to see that happen again, because
yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you, talk a little bit about that scene. What the camera angle on that was awesome. Like, was that a quick edit, or was that just like, how did you do that?
That was very fun. The way it was done, the way we did it, we probably spent over an hour doing random different camera angles and takes to find that one angle that really sold it. All of them just looked fake, and I didn't want it to be a cut here and a cut here. I was like, can we get this in one shot? Like, can we somehow get it in one shot? And everyone's like, well, no, you can't stab it through her neck in one shot. So, I was like, no, we're going to get it in one shot. So the way we did it is the camera is behind Charlie, which actually I played Charlie in that scene. So the camera's behind me, and the way it works is as she's already got the screwdriver prosthetic glued on the front of her neck as she's crawling away. So it's already glued on. So as the camera's following Charlie, Charlie pulls back on the screwdriver, and as he comes forward, the camera turns from behind and follows his hand from here back. So you can see here back in the handle. And as he hits the neck, the camera comes forward. So as he hits her, she arches back. The the way it pans out on camera is handle, neck, screwdriver through, and then I just added some blood effects and after in post or whatever. But that's how we got that in one take. I wish there was more blood in the scene. I'm really not happy that I didn't have enough blood. I'm not a gore hound, but I was like, oh, come on.
Right.
Blood right there.
Exactly.
But that's how it was done. It was all done in one take, and she already had the prosthetic glued on.
Awesome.
And I was
that
just
makes
holding
sense.
a handle, a fake handle. I wasn't holding a screwdriver or anything. It was a mold we made.
Very cool.
Interesting.
All right, so we'll make it happen. Atrocity Effects, you heard it. You guys are gonna recreate that. So
This is gonna be fun.
yeah, there will be blood. There will be blood.
It's going to be great to watch. I'll make sure to share the shit out of it. That's going to be awesome.
Cool. What you got, David?
All right. I hear that you're kind of doing like a little bit of a sale with this thing, with your movie. So, because we obviously want this to be in as many hands as possible, because this is awesome. So, tell us about that.
Yes, the sale. Producer Brandon Pruitt, his birthday's on the 22nd, and my birthday's on the 31st.
Nice.
So from the 22nd to the 31st, we are running a sale on the movie for, it'll be $10 plus the $3 shipping. But film right now is $20 plus the shipping. So from the 22nd to the 31st, it'll be $10.
Awesome.
With plus the shipping. So yeah, it'll be 50% off for 7 days or whatever that is, from birthday to birthday. So we really hope to pump that out. And also, I will be starting a share this, and one person will get a thing. I'll be giving out a poster and a DVD signed by me and Charlie in the other room. So from the 22nd to the 31st, we'll have a sharing contest, and the winner will get a free movie signed with a poster. Along with the movie, it will be 50% off that entire week.
Awesome.
Nice.
And now they can purchase that on the website. Is there an Amazon?
Yep.
Like, how's that work?
You can get it through our website, which is thecampgroundfilm.com. And look on the right, it says buy today or something like that.
Gotcha. All right, Roman, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Really cool thing we're gonna tell you real quick.
Yeah.
We couldn't put it on the DVD because there was so much data on our DVDs. We have a 20-minute the making of the campground, which is on YouTube.
Nice.
So you can feel free to watch that. There's scenes from like when Kevin and Charlie have a fight scene. There's scenes that show how we did certain stunts. Deirdre getting stabbed through the neck. That's in some of that. So it's a pretty cool. It's a mix of bloopers and the making of. It's about 20 minutes long. It's under our Studio 605 YouTube account.
Fantastic.
So it's worth to watch. Some spoilers though. So after watch the movie first.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, Roman, we appreciate it, buddy. Is there anything else you
Thank for
got?
having me.
Anything else you want to pump out before we close this up?
I think I got it all out, man.
All right.
Sweet.
I think you guys did good.
Cool deal. Thank you.
Hey, man.
And we appreciate it. And everybody, we're just going to end this right now, but before we do, like Fedor Black and all the other crud that we do at the end of this, make sure, Campground, go check it out, Facebook it, Twitter it, buy the DVD, folks, support indie horror. These guys put their blood, sweat, and tears in this, and seriously, we all have day jobs, and some of us, we still have to live at home just to make our dreams happen. So, fork it out. It's 10 to 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying? Just do it.
Do it.
Support indie horror, guys, all right? Roman, we appreciate you, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.